Good morning. Well, I just got online here, was flipping through the Allsky webcam list, and I found the orange ball popping up here, the Cruise Observatory, Lancaster, PA. There you have it. Looks like the dot there is rolling into frame on the top. Pulled up Lancaster, PA on the timeanddate.com website and to check the sunrise time. Sunrise is at 6:26 a.m. out there. So this thing, stepping it back, well, it appeared probably before that, but that's the first appearance. Well, I wouldn't say it appeared that much sooner. Stepping it back, 7:28, 7:23. So that's the first time I caught it on frame. Like I said, I just came online, but there you can see there's the dot. So I don't know. Here's Pontotoc, Texas, 6:29, 6:54. The range of the frames at Central Daylight Time. Nothing showing up here yet as far as the sunrise. However, I went down there to look at the single day column from yesterday because if I remember correctly, this was one of the better views on the Nibiru sun. And I was looking at a few of the other ones this morning as well. Looks like they're trying to chemtrail up the sky pretty well by noontime. So I'm sure they're aware that I'm catching these shots. They're plugged in, no doubt. But here it is here. It's still showing up, even though there's some clouds starting to come into the scene here. You can see the sun's all clouded up. That looks to me like the Nibiru sun right there. Here's another one, Plattsburgh, New York. Looking at yesterday's single day column. Looks like the sky's pretty clear out here during those hours when the Nibiru sun seems to show up. This could be something here. This could be something here. These probably just clouds, I would think. Just flipping around. Here's Overguard, Arizona. So we're at I'm not sure what time zone that says, but you know Arizona's out there probably in the Pacific time zone, if not the mountain. But anyway, wanted to show you this one because of the flash that appears at 4:56 a.m. I'm sure the sunrise isn't for another couple hours. Or an hour and something anyway. So there's an anomaly there. Showing it's all clouded up. So we got no single column view. Okay, here's one in Australia, Savannah Skies. Now, Smith the Mista YouTube channel, he's been doing webcam screenshots, which are pretty not very clear, not very well produced in and of themselves, and he's claiming that this is the Nibiru sun, which I checked quite thoroughly, and it's the moon. If you go look at stellarium, and it's not corresponding with the one that I'm catching as far as it being following ahead closely to the sun. This thing's still well up in the horizon, and it's the moon. I'm pretty well convinced, but I've gone down to the single column and I noticed that in the southern hemisphere the Nibiru sun appears below the sun in their single day column shots. So I'm pretty sure that this might be parts of the Nibiru system here showing up down there in Australia. Yeah, here's another one, Bear Paw Observatory, Mountain Meadows, West Virginia. Get the orange ball showing up here. First starts showing up, at least as far as me catching it. 1419 AST. I gotta look that up for time zone, but I mean West Virginia's near me, so they're in the Eastern time zone. So sunrise was sometime around 6. So we accessed the time and date website again, and I pulled up Charleston, West Virginia. So the sunrise was at 6:50 a.m. Let's see, this is at Atlantic Standard Time, so this is in fact showing correct time 8:19. Oh no, that wouldn't be right. So that'd be like an hour ahead, I guess. So they don't have the daylight time factor, or an hour behind. Well, at any rate, there's the orange ball. Shows up first at 14:09 AST. Let's go back and look at that. Okay, so I'm looking around. Would have been 13:50 the sunrise in Charleston, West Virginia, AST. Because now it's 8:15 here in Pittsburgh, and the last image we're getting here is 15:09, so that's 8:09 American Standard Time, represented as 15:09 AST. So let's see, there's the orange ball. Looking like maybe there's a dot or something up there. Stepping it back. But yesterday, Sally Ann Williams sent a nice link to that sunset down there near Cancun, sunrise rather, and it showed clearly two different sunrises coming up, one a little bit to the south and one to the east, and the one at the south was much brighter, and you could see from the picture, there was no date timestamp, but you could see from the picture that it was still pretty dark there, so it was prior to a real sunrise, and it pretty much corresponded to what we've been witnessing out there in California, Tierra del Sol, where you get that object to the south, and then the sky brightens considerably once it gets hit. And one thing I noticed, I want to point that out today. We'll go back to that website. Okay, there's Tierra del Sol. Well, it's cloudy today, but what I want to point out here, this object to the south, it could be the Nibiru sun, because that image in Mexico showed this image, an image like this and an image like this. This one's clearly a little bit further above the horizon, and what we witnessed yesterday, when this came up to a certain spot, it illuminated this, which that should be happening now. 5:12, I think that was when it first started, and then 5:22 it got much brighter. And if you go back and look at that video from yesterday, one thing I noticed after I got done filming with it and looking and watching the video myself, when it became illuminated at 5:22, it was just only the horizon that got illuminated, and the top sky was still, you could still see the stars. It was like a hole, still dark. So that's another further confirmation to me anyway that that's a second sun, the Nibiru sun system or whatever, being hit around 5:12, 5:22, and it just illuminates the horizon all the way around up to a certain spot. But up here, if you go back and look at that video, it was all clear and it was still dark. You could still see the stars. And so we got cloudy skies out here today, so that's not looking very good. But if you go back and look at the single column from yesterday, there's the Nibiru sun again, even though it looks like they tried to throw up some chemtrails and whatnot to obscure it. Here's good old moon glow, Warrensburg, Missouri. See the sun coming up here. I don't think we ever really got a good orange ball image here because they've got too much stuff on the periphery over here, trees and stuff. But anyway, down here at the single column, remember it was showing that green globe where the Nibiru system would be, right around the same time it's showing up as a red dot. We got it again yesterday. It's really hard to explain this green as opposed to the red. If anybody else got an opinion on that, let me know. Maybe it's the heliosphere, that's all I can figure out. Somehow it's just hitting at just a certain perfect angle from this one spot. And I'm going to keep monitoring these sky cams. I mean, it's not definitive that the orange ball in fact is the Nibiru sun, but based upon all the other anomalies that we've been witnessing, looks like it to me. And this one here, even though it's not a great image, you can see, well, that could be from the trees and stuff, but you can see some discolorations on the orange ball. These things too would appear to like maybe mirror each other, so that's probably just the shadows from these trees over here. That's what I'm thinking. There's that streetlight observatory, Bryan, Texas. I think I featured that in one of the vids for the 24-hour column. And then once again, you can see a red dot up here above the sun. Even though it's quite cloudy, it still managed to peek through there in this 24-hour single column image. Here's a good shot from Qatar. It's over there in the Middle East. In the single column, once again, there it is, showing up quite clearly. That's part of the Nibiru system, or if in fact not the brown dwarf star itself, right there. There's a good one, Verted Vision Observatory, Wilton, New York. Cloudy, but yesterday, right around the noon hour, pretty clear. There's the Nibiru sun right up here, showing up very well in this single day column. So being that it's cloudy and all that over in Tierra del Sol, I'm not going to be doing any more videos this morning probably, but we'll keep looking for a few more interesting images here. There's little Grumpy Moose, Alaska. Make sure you're viewing this stuff in full screen. You can clearly see the magnetic field lines big time here. And that's another thing. This thing's getting closer, so that maybe the Earth's reacting with its own magnetic field, trying to repel its electromagnetic influence. That's why these field lines are getting stronger. And then we get an interesting image down here. Now this, I'm pretty sure, is this mountain. But funky colors due to the electromagnetics, in my opinion. And this could be the Nibiru sun up here. So it's right around I guess that'd be the noon hour or 1 o'clock hour in Alaska. I'm out. Ciao.